Are the Toronto Maple Leafs playing with fire, or are they masterfully orchestrating a goaltending coup right under our noses? Good evening, hockey fanatics, and welcome back to the only channel that dives deep into the heart of the game, unearthing the stories that truly matter. Tonight, we're pulling back the curtain on a situation that has the potential to either solidify the Toronto Maple Leafs Stanley Cup aspirations or send them spiraling into the familiar abyss of playoff disappointment. We're talking about the most volatile position in hockey, the last line of defense, the goaltending. And let me tell you, the whispers from the ice are growing louder, hinting at a strategic dance between the Leafs and a familiar face, a dance that could redefine their season. For months, the Toronto Maple Leafs crease has been less a bastion of stability and more a revolving door, a chaotic maelstrom of uncertainty that has left fans and analysts alike scratching their heads. It's a narrative we've seen play out before, a recurring nightmare for a franchise desperate to hoist Lord Stanley's Cup. From the outset of this season, the goaltending situation has been a tangled web of injuries, inconsistent performances, and a desperate search for a reliable anchor. Remember the preseason? The optimism, the hope, the belief that this year would be different? Then came the news of Joseph Woll's personal leave, a blow that immediately sent ripples of concern through the organization. In a move designed to shore up the depth, the Leafs brought in a familiar veteran, a ghost from their past, James Reimer. The intention was clear: provide a steady hand, a seasoned presence to weather the early storm. But alas, the best-laid plans often go awry. Reimer's preseason debut against the Detroit Red Wings was, to put it mildly, a disaster. A performance so jarring, so utterly out of sync, that it effectively sealed his fate with the club before the regular season even began. The dream of a triumphant return was shattered, and Reimer and the Maple Leafs parted ways. Or so he thought. But here's where the plot thickens, where the narrative takes a fascinating turn. According to the ever-vigilant David Pagnotta of the fourth period, the story of James Reimer and the Maple Leafs didn't end with that preseason debacle. Oh no, not by a long shot. Pagnotta, a man with his ear firmly pressed against the locker room door, revealed a tantalizing detail. The two sides have been in contact. Not just a casual, how do you do? But a sustained dialogue, a quiet understanding that has persisted even after Reimer's initial departure. Pagnotta's December 8th report painted a vivid picture of a veteran netminder, now 37 years old, meticulously maintaining his game shape, patiently waiting for the phone to ring. And guess which team he's been holding his breath for? None other than the Toronto Maple Leafs. Pagnotta's words were unequivocal. Veteran goaltender James Reimer is keeping in game shape should an NHL opportunity arise. The free agent has kept in touch with the Toronto Maple Leafs since being released from his PTO in October, but the two sides have not spoken recently. Now, that last part, the two sides have not spoken recently, might seem to throw a wrench into our theory. But let's dissect that for a moment. In the high-stakes world of professional hockey, silence can often be more telling than a flurry of phone calls. It could be a strategic pause, a period of observation, especially given the recent developments within the Leafs' own goaltending ranks. Because, let's be honest, the goaltending landscape in Toronto has shifted dramatically in the past few weeks. The triumphant return of Joseph Woll, a beacon of hope for the blue and white faithful, has injected a much-needed dose of stability. And then the emergence of Dennis Hildeby. What a story! This young phenom, stepping onto the biggest stage, delivering a sensational performance against the Tampa Bay Lightning, earning his first career NHL shutout. It was a moment that sent a jolt of electricity through the fan base, a glimpse of a potentially brilliant future. With Woll back and Hildeby shining, it's easy to dismiss the need for a veteran like Reimer. The immediate crisis seems to have been averted. The tandem of Woll and Hildeby, on paper, looks promising, a blend of established talent and burgeoning potential. But here's the critical question, the one that keeps general managers up at night. What about organizational depth? This is where the Maple Leafs are far from out of the woods. Anthony Stolarz, another piece of the goaltending puzzle, is nowhere near returning to the ice. His absence leaves a gaping hole in the depth chart, a vulnerability that could prove catastrophic if either Wall or Hildeby were to falter or, heaven forbid, succumb to injury. Let's play out the worst-case scenario, a scenario that in the unpredictable world of hockey is always a lurking possibility. Imagine Stolarz is out for the season. That leaves the Leafs with Wall and Hildeby as their primary tandem. A good tandem, yes, but a fragile one. What happens if one of them goes down? Who steps in? Bringing Hildeby up to the NHL, while exhilarating, creates a vacuum in the AHL. The cupboard, as they say, becomes pretty barren. Artur Akhtyamov would be the next man up, a prospect with potential, certainly, but is he ready to shoulder the burden of an NHL backup, let alone a starter in a high-pressure playoff race? With all due respect to Akhtyamov, he's not the ideal option should Wall go down again. The jump from the AHL to the NHL, especially in a critical role, is a chasm, not a step. This is precisely where James Reimer, the seemingly forgotten veteran, re-enters the conversation. He's not just a warm body. He's a seasoned professional, a goaltender who has faced the bright lights of Toronto before. He could seamlessly slot in as the starter for the Marlies, providing a crucial safety net, a reliable third-string option for the big club. Think of it as an insurance policy, a fallback plan much like Martin Jones was a couple of seasons ago. Remember Jones? He wasn't the long-term solution, but he was there when the Leafs needed him, bailing the club out for a dozen crucial games. We all hope it doesn't come to Reimer having to bail out the Leafs for an extended period. But the question remains, who would you rather have backing up Hildeby if Wall goes down? Reimer, with his years of NHL experience, or Akhtyamov, still finding his footing in the professional ranks? The answer, for any team with Stanley Cup aspirations, is clear. The strategic play here for Brad Treliving, the Leafs' shrewd general manager, is to keep Reimer in his back pocket. It's a low-risk, high-reward proposition. Reimer is a free agent, meaning no assets would need to be surrendered to acquire him. He's a known quantity, a professional who understands the demands of the game and the unique pressures of playing in Toronto. Of course, there's always the risk that another team, equally desperate for goaltending depth, could swoop in and sign Reimer. But Treliving, a master of the chess match, must keep his options open. The Leafs have finally seemed to turn things around, finding their rhythm, building momentum. The last thing anyone wants is for that hard-earned progress to unravel due to an unforeseen goaltending crisis, forcing Hildeby to be overworked and potentially jeopardizing his development. This isn't just about filling a roster spot, it's about safeguarding the future, about ensuring that every contingency is covered. The path to the Stanley Cup is fraught with peril, and goaltending, more than any other position, can make or break a championship run. The Leafs have seen this firsthand, time and time again. So, while the recent silence from the Leafs camp regarding Reimer might seem like a dismissal, I believe it's quite the opposite. It's a calculated move, a quiet understanding that the veteran is there, ready to answer the call if and when the need arises. It's a testament to Treliving's foresight, his understanding that in the brutal landscape of the NHL, you can never have too much depth, especially between the pipes. The question isn't if the Leafs will face another goaltending challenge. It's when. And when that moment arrives, having a seasoned veteran like James Reimer waiting in the wings, ready to step in and provide stability, could be the difference between a deep playoff run and another heartbreaking early exit. It's a strategic move that could pay dividends far beyond what anyone might expect. What do you think, Leafs Nation? Is keeping tabs on James Reimer a stroke of genius or an unnecessary distraction? Are we overthinking the goaltending situation, or is Treliving making a savvy, proactive move? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this deep dive insightful, hit that like button and subscribe for more exclusive analysis that you won't find anywhere else. Your engagement fuels our passion for bringing you the untold stories of the game. Until next time, keep your eyes on the crease, because in Toronto, the drama never truly ends.